Okay. I know. No, her back's out. She probably needs to go see Mike down the street. I just sent Casey over for an adjustment there. Everyone needs an adjustment. All right, we're gonna do it. We'll do introductions after. Okay, so start at the top. Separate your feet, hips width. Slide the arms straight back like this. Yeah, and then slide your right hand inside. Yep, from behind, and then your left hand. So your arms go straight back like this, and then your right hand slides behind. Arms go straight back. Go inside. There you go, and then inside. Perfect. There you go. So there's a crisscross of your wrists, and then bend your knees a lot because it's going to not be so happy. And then let your head go. Yeah. So it's almost like you're creating a shelf for your stomach to rest on. And let the head go, connect to the breath, and bring your weight forward into the balls of your feet. Drape your stomach on your thighs like you're sitting on your legs. And start to pull up on the front of your shins and move your shoulders away from your ears. And let your shoulders drop down towards the ground. Draw the pit of the belly in. And just connect. You can close your eyes if you would like, or just stay like this. Move a little bit more weight forward. 3 more breaths. Good. Unravel the hands. Fingertips are going to come out in front of you. I gave Holly, I gave you blocks, and Jess, you have one. If you only have one will go in the center. If not 2, you can place them up high. So you're going to come to the fingertips, long spine. Yeah, and you can play with the blocks. Exhale, you're going to fold over your legs. Do that again. Inhale, long spine, shoulders draw down the back. Yeah, weight is forward. Exhale, fold into yourself. 3rd time's the charm. Long spine on the inhale, connect. Exhale, fold into yourself. So inhale, come to the fingertips, long spine. And because it's early, if you need blocks, you just slide them underneath your shoulders. Good. You may be able to do it with your hands on the floor, but let's be true to ourselves here. On the inhale breath, lift your right leg up, left leg up, excuse me. So your right leg is what the leg you're balancing on, and the left leg's gonna lift. And I really want you to think about the lift of the side of your waist. That's why the blocks are useful. Yeah. And if you're at home and you don't have blocks, you could use furniture, people. Yeah. There's a lift from your inner left thigh and a lift of your side ribs. And then your neck is neutral. It's kind of like you're in Amended Warrior 3 and you're just breathing. So as you lower your left foot, it's going to lower right back to that hips distance. And you're going to stay with the lift on the long spine. So the left leg lowers back down to the floor, hips distance, and you're back in this standing position. Long spine, nothing's changed. On the inhale breath, lift your right leg up. So the right leg lifts up behind you. Good. And you're just breathing through the back side of your body. If you need to bend your left leg a little bit or a lot, it may be helpful. There's no opening of your hips. Everything is neutral. There's a turning of your thighs. So the toes point towards the ground. And you're just focusing on the breath and creating this shape. Lift of the side ribs, the neck is long and neutral. Your gaze, your focus is on one spot in front. Stay with it. So keep your eyes looking forward. Just slide your right foot right back down to the mat. So your hips width distance again. Long spine on the inhale breath. So you're not folding at all. You're going to lift your left leg up hip height and you're going to take a giant step back now into a low lunge. We're just going to move a little different this morning. Your fingertips, you probably don't need these now, on the ground. Left hand's going to tent. If you need a block underneath your shoulder, right arm's going to peel open. Yeah, and the trick here, Jess, is to have your feet hips width. That's why we had our feet hips width, because we want a nice alignment for our pelvis. The right arm stacks, and then you just breathe open here. Grip the right hip in strong, activate your back leg. If you need a block underneath your left hand, Sometimes even fist my hand. I find it's a little bit more helpful. Watch that your right hip isn't rolling open. You feel the spreading of your right toes. Look down, right hand comes to the floor. You're just gonna come forward on your fingertips and slingshot your left foot back forward, hips width distance. Long spine on the inhale, you're not folding at all. Keep the extension of the waist and the torso. Guide your right leg back, big step. Good, right hand tense if you need a block, left arm peels. So you're just going right into this easy twist. So the right hand now is down. If you did the same leg, do the other leg. Back leg strong. Welcome to America. Use your breath. Grip the left hip in super strong. Look up with your eyes. If you feel a little stuck in your shoulders today, your hand can always be on the flat part of your back. That's your sacrum. All the muscles around the back right kneecap, you got to squeeze those muscles around the hamstring, the glute, so you can really fire up. Look to the floor, left hand comes down. You kind of want to claw the mat with your fingertips. Yeah, so you could use your core muscles and slingshot your right leg forward. Long spine on the inhale, you're not folding at all. Keep the extension, keep the weight forward. Slide your left leg back. So the right foot is forward and the left leg goes back. Good. Grip the hips in strong. Activate from the ground up. And now you're going to come up to a crescent lunge. Now, as you come up to this crescent lunge, you really have to play with the splay. So if you're too narrow, it's going to feel like you're walking on a tightrope. Good. Bend deep into the standing right leg. Activate the back left leg. And let's crisscross at the wrist like this. Yes. Good. Biceps back a little, neck is neutral. And I kind of want you to like wiggle up a little towards the sky as the lower half of the body melts closer towards the mat. And if it's too much, you can always back out, drop your back knee, and just hold here and breathe. The sound of summer. Enjoy it. Split the hands apart to the shoulder width distance. Yes. Bring the hands down. Claw the mat. Slingshot the left foot forward. Long spine on the inhale. Keep the weight forward. Slide the right leg back. Big step. This is working on proprioception, which we all need. Come to the fingertips, finding your body in space. Grip the hips in. Activate the back leg and then come on up. Get yourself set. Hip points are forward. Bending deep into the standing left leg. Back leg super strong. If you can remember which way you crisscross, good luck. I already forgot. It's going to feel the side that's less familiar. Neck is neutral. So you don't want your chin tucking. You don't want your chin protruding. Just find neutral. And kind of wiggle up a little. So you can get up off your body a little bit as you get a little heavier in your legs. And just breathe. So we're on the road to nowhere, literally. Nowhere to go, just be. Split the hands apart to the shoulder width distance. Do that much first. Then claw the mat as your hands come down. Slingshot the right leg forward. Don't fold. Long spine extension. Left leg steps back. Again, this time you're going to turn your back foot on an angle. You may need to walk your right foot a little. Try not to judge your right hip out. Grip it in strong so your back foot's in a warrior one. And now come up, warrior one. Your left ribs have to pivot forward. Back foot is nice and secure into the mat, and you're getting heavy in your front thigh. Look up a little with your eyes and just be patient as the asana practice just kind of builds upon itself. Another big breath in. Hands come down, claw the mat, let the left heel pop up first, and then slingshot forward. Long spine on the extension, don't fold. Right leg takes a giant step back, and then turn the back foot on an angle. Rearrange that left foot so the hip can grip in, and then come on up warrior one on the left side. So nice and controlled movement. The right ribs have enough movement to move forward. That looks great. Anchor through the outer blade of your back foot. Get heavy in the front thigh, and look up a little with your eyes. And just feel. Hands come down to frame your front foot. Right heel pops up, you claw the mat, right foot steps forward. Long spine on the extension, keep the right foot where it is, step the left foot back, pause. So you're in this low lunge. Right foot's gonna stay where it is, back foot's gonna turn on a strong angle. Yep. So now your back foot's on a strong angle. Open the foot a little bit more towards the pool. Keep going. So you're getting your hips open now. And you're gonna cartwheel open warrior two. You're gonna get heavy in your front thigh. Your stance has to be pretty wide and long so you can get your tailbone to drop. Broaden across the collarbone. Reach actively through your back left arm. Turn up the inner part of your right thigh. Lengthen the tailbone down and close your eyes and hold 5 breaths. Your side ribs are really lifted and your chest is open. Get a little heavy in your legs, drop down into the pose. It doesn't bite. Blink the eyes open, flip the palm, reverse your warrior. It's a subtle movement. Get heavy in your front leg as you reach up and back. Circle the hands to frame your right foot. Let the left heel pop, claw the mat. Slide the left foot forward. Long spine, don't fold. Right leg takes a giant step back, pause. So do this much first. Grip the left hip in strong and then just turn your back foot on an angle. You wanna be heel to heel or heel to arch. And then cartwheel open warrior two. So just really getting the feet to secure the pose. Chest nice and open. Inner thigh rolls open, tailbone drops, and just spread the chest and the collarbone. And then close your eyes and hold 5 breaths. The nature is the left knee wants to turn in. So keep thinking about rolling from your inner big toe to the outer baby toe. And that kind of gives you a little information. Stay with it. Outer blade of your back foot presses, tailbone drops, holds. More breath, more feeling. And it's hard to be still and be patient because you don't know what's happening. Flip the palm, reverse the warrior. Stay heavy in the front thigh. Let your right hand just subtly slide down the back of the leg. So just kind of opening up the front line. Look up a little. Circle it to the floor, step to a plank. Hold plank, lengthen the tailbone, contract the thighs, pull the waist up. So if you get here and you're like, this feels real crummy this morning, I feel like I can't support myself, my mind is in the way of me, drop your knees and support the posture. You got to get out of your own way. If not, just hold. Zip everything up from crown of the head all the way to the heels and from the heels to the crown of the head. Slide more energy forward onto your tippy toes. Wrap the sides of your arms in. Draw the waist up. Contract the thigh bones. Hold. Inhale your breath. Exhale, maintain. Feel the ground, it's got you. Arms and legs stay straight, hips up and back, thank God. Downward facing dog. So this first one, take up a lot of space on the mat. Let the head just be free. And you can bend behind your knees as much as you need, okay? Roll forward plank. Now it should feel a little more natural and you should feel a little more eager to go. Bend your elbows in half to a chaturanga or support with your knees down. Slide yourself through a nice smooth up dog or baby cobra if the lower back is sensitive. Legs are strong, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Look to the top of the mat. You can just step. If you feel like you got to hop, you had a lot of coffee, you go for it. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold into yourself. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer at heart, drop your arms. Let your arms go and you always stand at the top. Arms reach up, go big. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold. Long spine sets you up, plant your palms. You can step, you could float through a chaturanga. However you wanna move in your practice today. Up dog opens you. Downward facing dog, hips press back. Look where you wanna go. Keep your arms straight. You wanna step, you wanna float your feet to the top. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. You never thought you'd be so happy to fold. Yes, root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. So it's a full sunnae. Reach your arms straight up. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold. Always bend your knees. Long spine to set you up. You can just plant your palms and step to plank, or you can hop to a chaturanga. You could skip the chaturangas too. Upward facing, smooth operation, downward facing. Look where you want to go. Keep your arms straight, your legs straight. Step or float to the top, nice and light. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart, drop your arms. Arms reach up, anchor. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold, let the head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare you. Step, step, or float through your vinyasa. Everyone's vinyasas are a little bit different. You can do 3 extra push-ups. You can skip the push-ups. Downward facing dog is where we all meet. Each one gets a little better, and if it's not, just tell yourself that. Look where you want to go, step or float to the top. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. One more because we can. Arms reach up. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold. Inhale, prepare. Step, step, or float through a vinyasa. Upward facing, smooth. Legs are strong. Hips up and back, downward facing. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Arms stay nice and straight. Look to the top. Step or float your feet there. Long spine on the inhale. Weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Sit into chair. Weight moves into your heels. See, it feels a little more forgiving because you've done other stuff. Sometimes when you just arrive into chair, there's a lot of resistance. Weight is in your heels. Shins move back, chest opens. Now your arms are straight up and down, but they could be open wider if your shoulders feel junky. Press up to stand up. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Sun bees, arms reach up. Sit deep chair. From the top's always easier. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare. Step or float through your version of a vinyasa. Upward facing, smooth. Hips up and back, downward facing. Right foot lands, back foot turns. If you have an inversion to warrior one, you can always take crescent lunge. Come on up. At least he's dressed. You never know. Hands come down, plank position, chaturanga, upward facing. You never know what you're going to get in this household. Downward facing. Left foot lands, back foot turns. Warrior one, especially with him. Hands come down, plank position. You get to plank, you decide. Chaturanga, you could skip it, you go right to an up dog. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. We got some good humidity out here. Breathe in, breathe out. All right, here we go. Look to the top, arms stay straight, step or float to get there. Long spine on the inhale, keep that weight forward if you can. Exhale, fold. Sit into chair, weight moves into your heels. Press up to stand up, drag your hands to prayer, drop your arms. Again, from the top, arms reach up, sit deep into chair. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold. Long spine to prepare, step or float through your vinyasa. Nice work. Upward facing, press strong through the tops of the feet wherever you are. Hips up and back, downward facing. Right foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one. You take your time, you come up on the exhale. Nice work. Hands come down to a plank. Halfway down to your version of a push-up, up dog. Hips up and back, down dog. Left foot lands, back foot turns. You've got some good momentum using your breath. Back down we go, plank. Halfway down, chaturanga. Upward facing point. Hips up and back, downward facing. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Look where you want to land, step or float your feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Sit again, chair, weight moves into your heels. Now it's like a dance routine. Press up to stand up, drag your hands to prayer, drop your arms. One more, here we go. Arms reach up, sit again, chair. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips to prepare, step or float through your vinyasa. Upward facing, smooth. Hips up and back, downward facing. Right foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one. Back down we go through a vinyasa. When you get to your downward facing dog, your left foot lands, your back foot turns, warrior one. Hands come back down, plank position, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Your arms stay nice and straight. You want to look in between your hands. You're going to hop your feet all the way through and lay down. Yep, gotcha. When you get to the floor, bend your knees in half, reach your arms forward and pull up on the exhale breath. It's like a half pull up. Yes, your feet stay anchored. If the neck is sensitive, you can always place something underneath your head, okay? And really just focus on lifting through your deep core muscles and drawing your shoulder blades up off the floor. It's actually a good reminder that you're not using your head or your neck. Keep the lift of the shoulder blades, keep the core activating, keep reaching your arms forward, lift your legs on an angle that works for you. So if it's sensitive in lower back, your legs can go more at a 90-degree angle. This is more intense, halfway. Rebend the legs, take the feet flat, lift your torso, your belly up a little higher. Exhale the breath, let it go. So we're gonna do a bunch of core right here. Pull yourself up. Lift your legs on an angle. Lower your legs down, lift higher. Exhale the breath, let it go. Pull your torso up. Lift your legs on an angle. Lower the legs back down, secure the feet, lift higher. Exhale the breath, let it go. Pull yourself up. Lift your legs on an angle. Lower your heels and maybe tap. You might not go all the way. Lift them back up on an angle. Rebend, the feet get grounded. Lift higher. Exhale the breath, let it go. Pull yourself up. Aren't we having fun? Lift the legs on an angle. Lower the legs, tap the heels. Lift higher. Bend the knees. Lift up. Let it go. Here we go. Pull yourself up. Don't forget to breathe. Lift the legs on an angle. Lower the legs, tap the heels. Good. Lift them back up. Rebend the legs. Lift higher. Exhale the breath, let it go. One more. Here we go. Pull yourself up. Lift your legs on an angle. Keep the lift of the upper shoulder blades. Lower the feet back down. Your heels back down. Yep. Lift them back up. Rebend the legs. Take the feet flat. Lift higher. Exhale the breath. Let it go. Draw the left leg forward and the right leg up. So it's going to look like this. Yep. Right leg up, left leg forward. It's like a split. Let the shoulders rest on the floor for a second, the back of the head. Reach the left hand towards the right toes. Yep. The left hand towards the right toes. Tap it. There you go. Lower the leg, lower the arm all the way back and let it hover. Right arm is going to stay down. Lift the left leg, the left arm and the big right toe up. Tap the fingertip to the toe. Lower it back down. You got it? Lift the leg up. If you hover the leg and the arm, it's going to work more. Lower the arm and the leg. It's opposite arm, opposite leg. Hover. Lift it back up. Flex the left calf, guys. Lower it down. One more. Here we go. Pull it up. Tap the toe. Lower it down. Let it hover for a breath. Let it go. Right arm reaches back. Left leg lifts up. Left palm goes flat. Right arm reaches towards the big toe. If you messed up the leg, just go on the side you didn't do. Lower it down. Hover. Lift it up. Tap. Keep the left palm flat and the right calf flexed. Here we go. Hover it. Lift it up. Lower it down. Let it hover. Lift it up. Tap. Two more. Lower it down. Hover. Lift it up. Tap. One more. Lift it up and tap. Lower it down. Let it hover for a breath. Exhale the breath. Let it go. Hug the knees to the chest. Rock and roll. Cross the ankles. Move through a vinyasa. Make it feel good here. Upward facing dog should stretch out the front side of the body a little. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Step your right foot smack in between your hands. Turn your back foot on a strong angle. Circle open warrior two. You should be sweating a little now. Yeah. Warrior two, take a second. Reestablish your breath and the sensation of the pose. Maybe you'll get sprayed by the pool cleaner if you're lucky. Yeah, it likes to do that. So from here, get a little nitty gritty in the legs. Flip the palm, reverse the warrior. Rest the right arm on the top of the right thigh for a modified extended side angle. Yeah, sweep the left arm up, stretch it up and forward if you want a little bit more. The baby finger will tip to the ground. There's a gripping in of your right hip and a turning of your bottom right ribs as you press strong through your feet and your legs. You're just holding this modified version of extended side angle. You're connecting to your breath, ujjayi breathing, and you're maintaining the pose the best that you can. Your right shoulder is soft. It's not kind of cramping up towards your ear. So you're requiring a lot of lower half strength and core strength. The longer you hold, the more your right hip wants to jut out. So continue to grip it under you. 2 more breaths. So you can either circle the arm in front of the face or just use the top arm to pull you back up, warrior 2. Circle the hands to frame your front foot. Move through a vinyasa. Upward facing dog should feel good at this point. If it doesn't, skip it. Down dog. The left foot lands smack in between your hands. The back foot turns. We cartwheel open, warrior 2. And take a second to kind of reestablish this. We were here a moment ago earlier. Should feel pretty good. The screaming voices in the background, the kids playing. Isn't that just amazing? Flip the palm, reverse the warrior. Keep turning your thigh open. Yeah, your left thigh open. Rest your left arm on the top of the left thigh. Wrap your right arm up, straight up, or up and forward. Looks good, guys. Grip your left hip in strong. And the anchor of your back leg is really like it's kind of the best part of the pose. You're really using that back right leg. Have the arm straight up, Jess, straight towards the sky. There you go. Soften the shoulder and keep turning the bottom ribs as you grip your hip underneath you a little more. Stay with it, couple more. So you can either circle the arm or use the strength of the back arm and the back leg to pull you up, warrior 2, but you want to reroute and lengthen down, warrior 2. It's solid, it's strong. Look forward, circle your hands to frame your front foot, move through a vinyasa. Up dog if it feels available. Downward facing dog is where we meet. The right foot lands, the back foot turns, cartwheel open, warrior 2, we go again. Flip the palm, reverse the warrior. Come back through warrior 2, reach out and reach for the outer part of your right foot for an extended side angle. Yeah, I like using a block here. I put it on a low setting, even a high setting if you feel tight. You want to grip your right hip in strong, slide the left arm up or bring it up and forward if you have that shoulder motion. Yeah, that's perfect. I like to tent the fingertips sometimes. Get out of that right shoulder. Continue to grip the right hip in strong. Activate your back leg and turn your ribs up towards the sky or the ceiling if you're not outside. And then breathe. Stay with it, guys. So as you hold the posture, like you get angry sometimes, but see if you can just use your breath and let your body and your mind just kind of escape into the pose. If your arm wrapped forward, reach it straight up. Use the strength of your top arm, your top leg. Warrior 2, come on up. Look forward, circle to the floor through a vinyasa. Upward facing, make it feel good. Hips up and back, downward facing. Land your left foot smack in between. Turn your back foot on a strong angle. Cartwheel open, warrior 2. Flip the palm to reverse this warrior. Create the extension from the hip. Come back through warrior 2, reach out, slide your hand to the outside of your foot. Use a block most of the time. You're gonna have a little more success. Keep bending deep into the front leg. Top arm reaches straight up or can come up and forward. So the up and forward takes a little bit of finagling. Yeah, the shoulder has to be happy enough to do that. Keep gripping your left hip in strong and taking your bottom left ribs and turning them. Yep, you're doing great, Jess. Turn the block even a little higher and see if that gives you a little bit. Perfect. And then get heavy in that front leg. Stay with it. Sometimes as I hold the pose, I even practice picking up the front left toes and just making sure I'm not like, you know, gripping the mat and doing those little things to kind of try and get through. Couple more, stay with it. Focus on your breath. Make it feel light and easy, even if it doesn't. If the arm wrap forward, reach it straight up, warrior two without any bounce, stay with it. Look forward, take it to the floor, vinyasa, keep it moving. Chaturanga, upward facing, point the toes, hips up and back, downward facing. Right foot lands, back foot turns, warrior two, last time on the side, like this. Reverse the warrior, pause. Straighten the right leg on track. When I straighten like this, I always keep a soft little bend behind the knee so I don't hyperextend. So you're in reverse trikonasana. Float back and bring your right hand to your right shin for triangle pose. You're getting a nice side body extension. Your hand anywhere on your leg that works for you this morning. A block is useful to the outside of the calf. Focus intently on gripping your right hip underneath you and extension through your side waist as you look up with your eyes. Use the back leg, the strength of it, and keep a soft little bend behind your front right knee. It helps. Stay with it. Stay with it. Lighten your load, connect to your breath, and just enjoy the feeling. Top arm, top leg's gonna pick you back up, warrior two. You're gonna bend right into it. Circle it to the floor, vinyasa. Keep it going. Upward facing point. Hips up and back, downward facing. Last time like this on this side. Left foot forward, back foot turns, warrior two. Get to the warrior two first. Don't get ahead of yourself. Flip the palm, reverse next. It's part of the meditation. Then straighten the leg, but keep a little soft bend behind your front knee. Find this strong extension and then come up and forward through your triangle. I find you get a lot more openness through the lower back. Anywhere on your shin, you grab your front leg. Block is great too. Looks good. You want to feel like you're pulling the pant leggings up. Grip the left hip in strong. Find the extension through the side body and use the strength of your back leg. Reconnect right here. Couple more. Top arm, top leg's gonna pull you back, warrior two. You immediately bend the leg and it feels pretty seamless. Look forward, circle it to the floor, plank position and hold. When you get to this plank, bring your right hand out like an inch forward and roll to the outer blade of your right foot for a Vashisthasana side plank. You can modify your right knee down. You can drop your right forearm down if you've got any shoulder, wrist, or elbow things going on. Yep. Any which way that works for you. You can stagger your feet. You can bend your top leg today into a tree pose if you want. Anywhere on your leg. It can even be down low on your calf or up high in the inner part of your thigh. Just not resting on the inner part of your knee is we want to avoid. Lift from your bottom hip to your top hip. Nice. Now to make it a little more challenging if you want, top arm can wrap up and forward like we've been doing. You got it. Breathe. Plank position. Hold. Chaturanga if you want. Up dog if it feels good to you. Hips up and back, down dog. One more time like this, roll forward plank. I like to move the left hand like an inch forward. Then roll into the side plank Vashisthasana. Maybe this side you need to modify, maybe you don't. Bending your top leg up into a tree pose. If you're in the modification, you can do it like this. You can bend your top leg and take a tree. From bottom hip to top hip, you lift. Top arm can wrap up and forward if you want more. Nice, Holly. Stay with it. You got it. Three more. I know you didn't want to hear that. Plank position we meet. Nice and slow and controlled. Chaturanga. Up dog slides you through. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Look to the top, step or float your feet there. Long spine on the inhale, breath. Exhale, fold into yourself. Root to rise, come all the way up right here. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Draw your right knee up and just give your right leg a squeeze, just like this. This could be where you stay. Your right hand on the front of the knee, your left hand to your hip. Slide the left arm up. Maybe you can reach down, grab your big toe. It's optional. Maybe your leg can move forward a little bit or a lot. It's optional. Right shoulder draws down the back. Left side of the body lifts. Most important is your alignment and your breath. Soften the right hip. Integrate the left side of the body for the lift up towards the sky. Stay with it. Keep the leg moving forward. You're going to take the twist, the dancing Shiva. Either your hand to the outside of your foot and the right arm wraps back, or the hand to the outside of the thigh leg with a bent knee and the arm wraps back. Either way is just fine. Go to the outside of your thigh like this. Yeah, it kind of gathers you in, and then you can reach that arm back. And then our next life, we look back because it's hard. Just think about looking back. Maybe you look an inch further each time you do it. And if you fall, you try again. Stay with it. Keep the lift of the leg, pull around to center. So I want you to extend your leg any level out in front of you, even if it's like this and hovering the ground. This is good work. But the higher you go, the more you're going to lift. Keep reaching your arms up. Lower your right foot down. Let's sit into chair together. Drag the hands to a prayer. Inhale the breath. Hook the elbow and take it to the right. Yeah. The left knee likes to do a little party. Yeah, it's not always well behaved. So you got to sit even and get in there. Yeah, open up your arms if you want more, but that is really an optional thing. You can even do a half bind. The goal is to keep the spine long and the weight heavy in your legs. You continue to create the box shape in the lower half of the body. Keep the strong legs, chair. Look forward with your eyes, chair. Don't get angry, find chair. Dive over, bent knees, forward, fold, let your head go. Go, do me a favor, split your feet apart so they're hips width distance. Come to the fingertips, long spine, and pause. You're gonna grip your right hip in strong. You're gonna reach for a block. It's gonna go out in front of you about 6, 8, maybe even 10 inches. Your left hand's gonna come onto your hip. You're gonna lean the weight onto the right leg and begin to open from here into a half moon. A little different today. Focus in like a lot of energy on your right foot, making sure it stays forward and your hip grips in. From here, the left arm can grow up towards the sky if and when you have your balance. It doesn't always work for us. Yeah, so you really have to find the length from that side body and then look up, look sideways. Open up from your inner thigh. And if you fall out, just welcome to the game of yoga. Soften a little behind your right knee and just do your best. It's hard because a lot of times we're used to stepping into it and we use different muscles. A little longer. Okay, look down. Both hands come to the floor. Keep the lift of your inner thigh, kind of how we started. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Slide your block now underneath your left hand. I go with the setting nice and high. Slide your right hand to the flat part of your back and pause here. So like we started the practice, lift strong from your inner left thigh, flex the foot. This may be where you stay with your hand on the flat part of your back, but a lot of extension from your hip points to the crown of your head. So you're not flopping, you're not falling. This may be it today. Walk the block, Holly, like 2 inches closer towards my mom. There you go. And like an inch closer to you. So it's not a reach. Yeah, perfect. And you may even want to go higher with the setting. It's not cheating. If your top arm has the availability to go up, good for you. I'm like, that is not happening today. Stay with it. 2 more. Look down, right hand comes to the floor. Separate your feet super wide, come down into squat. Yeah. So what you could do is, I know, thank God, take a block underneath your butt and take your feet really wide. So when you look at like the old books of the yoga, all the people's feet are like this and they're down in squat, but like we're not built like that. We got to turn our heels in and our toes out and make this work. Backs of the triceps, press the inner parts of the thighs. And the biggest part of this pose is to sit up tall. Yeah. Close your eyes and just breathe. I don't know how Taylor Swift got into this playlist. Hands come down, straighten the legs, shimmy the feet back together, hips width distance, hands to your hips, come up standing. Just stand for a second. Good. You're going to balance all your weight now on your right leg. Draw the left knee in and give the left leg a hug. Do this much first. Don't get ahead of yourself. Moving on, your hand to the front of the knee, the right arm reaches up. This is fine. You could even lean against a wall. Grab the big toe. If you have it in you, pause here. This may be the sweet spot. Moving on, left leg extends. Any amount this leg extends. It can even be bent. Standing right leg is super straight though. A lot of times everyone thinks they're kicking from their hip. You're just kicking from whatever hamstring flexibility you actually have, which may be none. Keep the lift of the legs, switch the grip. Grab the outer part of your foot and reach the left arm back. Or do this with a bent knee, grab the outside of the thigh. You got it. Flex the foot strong, reach the arm back, and then start to look sideways, maybe look up, look back. You got it. So you want to keep engaging your right quadricep. Keep the lift of the leg. Pull your torso around and see if you can straighten out your leg any amount, even if it's hovering the floor an inch or two. Arms breathe up. Breathe your chest up. Lower the left foot down and go ahead, sit deep, chair. Slide your hands into prayer. Inhale that breath. Hook the elbow, twist to the left. Weight stays in your heels. Yeah. Kind of hunker down. You got it half bind if you want. Open up the arms, half open arms, no open arms. Weight stays in your heels. We got a little breeze. That fly is liking you, Holly. I know. Strong leg, guys. Pull around chair. Recommit right here. Take it down a notch deeper because you can. Fold over the legs, thank God. Let the head go. Come to the fingertips. Separate your feet hips width distance from me. Focus strongly on your left foot, your left hip. Bring your right hand to your hip. Take the block out in front of you about 6 to 8 inches. Start to lift the right leg up and open up the hip from here, from the ground up. We're working into half moon today. There may be a little wiggling and wobbling. That's okay. Right arm can extend up or your hand can just stay on your hip. Keep lifting from your inner thigh. And if you fall, you retry again. Stay with it. Keep gripping that left hip underneath you. Move the eyes to the floor. Right hand comes down. Square your hips, but don't let the leg drop. Slide the block underneath your right shoulder, a little out in front of you. Left hand comes to the flat part of your back. Now flex the right foot really, really strong, like you did early on in the practice. Find extension from the waist to the crown of the head. Look forward with your eyes. This is a good spot to stop. Just be happy here. Start to turn your ribs a little bit to the left, and that begins to take you a little deeper into the pose. Yeah, switch hands, Jess. Move the block over. There you go. Now you're in it. Now slide your hand to the flat part of your back. It's going to give you the information. Lift from your inner thigh. Revolve dart in Chandrasana. Stay with it. We got this today. Look to the floor. Both hands come down. Slide the feet together. Yep. And then come down into crow. So we're going to plant the hands out in front of you. If crow is not in your practice, I'll show you what to do. So you can just kind of play around with your balance and working your core. The trick with crow is to keep your feet together. So split your knees apart, take the hands out in front of you, slide your knees really high up into your upper arms, bend your elbows, bring your weight forward. Pause here. This is a good spot to stop. Focus on chaturanga-like arms. Look forward with your eyes. Scoop out your belly. You got it. Nice work. Maybe you can lift a foot, maybe not. Step or float when you're ready through a vinyasa or meet in a dog. Exhale all the breath out. Stay with me, guys. Land your right foot forward. Crescent lunge from the back of the mat. Hands come to prayer at heart. Lean out, hook the elbow, and twist. So it's almost like when you get back to doing it the way that we always do it, it feels super easy, right? And when you make these little tiny changes, it kind of throws us for a loop. Lean back a little bit. Get the head lining up with the back heel. Yeah, open up your arms if you want a little more. Or if you don't need more, that's okay too. Keep driving that back leg into the mat. Stay with it right here. The fly found me. Breathe. Look down, place both hands to the floor. Walk your right foot to the center of the mat and kind of swing your left knee behind your foot. Come down and sit. Ardha Matsyendrasana. This is an oldie but goodie. I could do it again if you need guidance. Right foot is bent over the left thigh. Two butt cheeks are on the ground. Right hand behind you at the base of your spine. What I like to do here is hug my leg because it gives you the stretch of that piriformis. Inhale your breath and then look over the shoulder and twist. Couple things to think about is to make sure you're not sitting on your left foot, and you want to make sure that your right foot stays flat to the ground. So if you want to get in there a little deeper today, it's up to you. I'll just show you an option that I've been playing around with. Use the back of your left arm to get in there. Do that much. Make a half twist, like a half prayer. And then your right hand can come up to prayer and you can twist deeper. Perfect. You feel that through the outer hip? Great. Stay and look over your right shoulder. Just look to the right. Good. Unravel through center. Counter stretch if you want. And then just step to a dog. Nothing graceful here. I could have made that more elaborate, but I did an upward facing, point your toes, hips up and back, downward facing. Land your left foot forward, crescent lunge. Here we go. There's this one fly that's just like having a really good time. Yeah, I know. Drag your hands to prayer. Inhale the breath, lean out, hook the elbow and twist. So activate your back leg, your quadricep and your hamstring and all the muscles around your glute. Yes, and then lean back a tiny bit because you want to get the crown of the head to line up with your back right heel. You got it. I think, Jess, if you walked your left foot a little closer towards Holly, you may find a drop more stability. Perfect. Stay with it. This is kind of where you want to bag it and get out. So 2 more breaths or so. Or so. Look down, place both hands to the floor. See, that was nice. Walk the foot to the center and then swing your right knee behind your left foot and come down to sit. As you sit down, just slide your right foot out enough so that way that you're not sitting on the heel. Left foot stays flat. So give this leg a squeeze first. Go the other way. Yep. So you're hugging your right arm around your left thigh, knee area, and then you're looking to the left. Stay with this. The length of the spine and the twist of the upper torso. Good. If you want to get in there a little deeper, use the back of that tricep and kind of hook it to the outside of that left thigh, hamstring, outer IT part, and then bring the left hand into a prayer if you want more. Good. Come to center, counter stretch if you care to. Come to neutral. So you're going to unravel your left leg and come back and kind of swing your right leg around for a half pigeon. If you need to step to a down dog to do it, sometimes we have to do that. Fold forward. Shoes tall. And just breathe. Enjoy this part. So lift your torso up off the ground. Kind of karate chop the mat with your arms so your palms face one another. Yeah. Curl the left toes into the mat, activate the knee, and you're going to slide your right leg back into a forearm plank. If you want to spin your palms down because you feel like you have a little bit more grip, you're welcome to do that. I kind of like it like this because it forces me to use the outer arm. Lengthen your tailbone, look forward with your eyes. So now spin the palms down and one palm at a time press to a plank. Good work. Downward facing dog. And then from this down dog, slide your left knee forward. It's much easier. Half pigeon. And then fold. Good. So the top of the right thigh and the top of the right foot has to be connected to the floor. And just breathe. Good. One more time today, guys. Karate chop the mat with your arms. Activate your back right leg. Curl the toes into the mat. So the kneecap lifts and then slide the leg back into forearm plank. Hold. Lengthen from the crown of the head to your heels, vice versa. Draw the belly in. Hold. Slide the palms flat like this. Lower all the way down, Sphinx. So when you come to Sphinx, you actually have to bring your elbows a little bit more forward. This is a really great back bend to know. She probably needs to go in this up the street stuff. Yeah. You want to kind of lead with your chest. So the pose is technically taught with your feet together, but I kind of bagged that years ago. I like the feet apart, press the tops of the feet down. It just gives a little more space in the lower back, and hang here. Nancy, this is a great pose for you. Lead with your chest, especially if you travel a lot, whatever, this is perfect. Stay with this. So we're gonna back bend like this. You're gonna bend your right leg up. You're gonna reach behind you, grab your ankle today. From the outside, good. So you could do a little as much as you want. If you want more, you'll flex your foot and you'll kind of lift your torso away from the mat, but spin your chest forward and kick with a little force into your hand. If you want less, you don't give it, just give it a little less energy. Good. But you're staying connected, chest spinning forward. Let it go, Sphinx pose. Really have that right arm forward, then reach back, grab the outside of the ankle, the foot, anywhere, little or a lot of energy, depending on you. If you want to fire it up, you're going to lift the chest way up off the ground, but keep spinning the torso forward and give your hand and your foot a little like happiness. Stay with it. Let it go, Sphinx pose. Good. Just going to take your hands and slide them all the way back. One last time today. Slide yourself through an upward facing, activate your legs, the tops of the feet. Keep your arms straight. Just move your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Look through your hands, hop your feet all the way through, lay down on your backs. We're going to finish with 2 final back bends, okay? So you're going to lay down, bend your knees, feet flat, fingertips skim the backs of your heels, lift your tailbone up. You could robot the arms, you can interlace the hands, you could slide a block underneath your tailbone for any version of bridge pose that feels acceptable in your body. The supported version can be used with the block. It can go any direction that works. Perfect. Now what I want you to do, Jessica, is walk your hands around the block and clasp your hands. Now straighten your arms and get that. That's the back bend right there. Perfect. Stay here or move on to one more back bend full wheel if you have it in you. So you'll lower down, you'll flip your palms, you'll bring your chin to your chest, take a giant breath in, and you'll lift yourself up. This isn't for everybody, so some of us just stay where they are. Go for it. Square the feet a little bit more forward and turn the sides down and under. Wherever you are, you're lifting from your tailbone to the backs of the knees. Exhale your breath, start to come out. When you are ready, if you're on a block, you'll remove the block safely and slowly out from underneath you and lower your lower back to the ground. Take your feet wide and let your knees knock in. Good. And then with your feet wide, just drop your knees over to the right. So your right leg is going to be higher than your left. So your left leg is kind of down on an angle. Yes. And then if you want, you could take your right foot and kind of noogie it to the outside of your left hamstring, IT band, and give yourself a little stretch this way. Cactus the arms, keep the shoulders down, and take a little baby twist this way. Good. Let the foot slide off the leg first, then anchor the feet and pull back up to neutral. So the feet are the width of the mat. Drop your knees over to the left. So the right side is kind of going down on an angle. The left leg is out to the side. If you want more, the left foot kind of slides on top of the outer part of your right thigh, IT band area. It's going to give you a little more stretch. The arms are cactused. To get out of the pose, let the left foot slide off the leg first. Bring the feet back up to center and squeeze your knees in towards your chest. Slide the legs out in front of you and set up for the best pose ever made in this world, Shavasana. So complete rest for the next minute or two. I know it's hard to do, but make yourself comfortable. Try to annoy the annoying fly, just ignore it. Just breathe. Big full breath in. Loud, complete exhale breath out. Arms come up over the top of the head if that feels good. Take a little stretch. With your eyes closed, if you can, hug your knees to your chest, give them a big squeeze in. And then rock up and just sit for a second and just feel. So as you sit up, it's calm before chaos, always. Yeah, so find the calm. Let the shoulders breathe down the back. And just be grateful for this little time that you found for yourself. Let the hands come to a prayer, bow your head, have gratitude. It is the best attitude. Lift your head, open your eyes. Namaste. That was super fun. We'll do it again next week. I'm unsure if we'll teach Wednesday. We'll see. It could be a little, Wednesday could be a little hairy. So definitely Friday next week. I'll be in touch.